Hello, my name is Shea, and today I'm here to talk to you about the disease called schizophrenia. Most people know schizophrenia as John Nash whenever he won the Nobel Peace Prize. He's from West Virginia. He was later then diagnosed with schizophrenia, and he was a great teacher and a great student at a law school. But schizophrenia is a disease that can be very fatal, and there's not a cure, but through medication and therapies, there's a high success rate. If you know anything about schizophrenia, then schizophrenia is a very scary disease. It has a lot of ways of changing your attitudes towards things, and it makes you see stuff that's not really real. But 1.1% of the world has schizophrenia, and it just shows you that that's a lot of people. As you can see from right back here at my graph that I made, it's schizophrenia in the world's population. It's in the pink right here is China. China has 6 million people. That's an estimate of how many people in China has schizophrenia. In India, there's 4.3 million people that has it. In USA, there's 2.2 million people that have schizophrenia. In Australia, it starts to lower down a little bit. There's only 285,000. In Canada, there's 280,000 people, which is still a lot. And in Britain, there's 250,000 people that have schizophrenia. So today I'm going to talk to you about, there's three main points that I want to explain, which is the types, the symptoms, and the treatment for schizophrenia. As far as the types go, there's 5 types of schizophrenia that we're going to talk about. There's a paranoid schizophrenia, which is whenever you start having delusions and hallucinations, such as you start thinking you're seeing things that's not really there, and it really starts to bother you, and that's when a very major sign of how you know that you have schizophrenia. The second one would be disorganized, is whenever you're talking, you're hard to understand, and it gets really hard to understand where you're coming from, to know what you're wanting to say. You have a catonic schizophrenia, which is whenever you're physically or verbally abusive to other people or somebody you really care about. You have undifferentiated schizophrenia, which shows symptoms of all types we just talked about. And then the fifth one is whenever you have residual type schizophrenia, which is whenever you have had a schizophrenic episode before in your life, but at this specific time you're not showing any symptoms of what schizophrenia is to these days. And now we're going to talk about the types. We're going to talk about the symptoms to how you know that you may have schizophrenia. There's 3 specific types that I want to stick to, which is, first is the negative symptoms, which is whenever you have difficulty of showing your emotions or your feelings. As in how to describe that would be, if you are upset about something, you can't really express yourself and tell somebody how you feel because you're not real sure of how you want that person to think. And then you have positive symptoms, which is realizing what is real or what is imagined. In a lot of cases in schizophrenia, people start seeing imaginary people, and that's who they start becoming best friends with, and they talk to them consistently, and they want them to think that they're real, and that's how it starts to get to you. That's how it first gets in you, because you start talking to this imaginary person, and you don't know, and when you come to find out that he is not real or she is not real, then you start to panic, and then you really realize something's wrong. And then last, you have conjective symptoms, which is your ability to think, which means you start jotting down all this stuff that makes no sense to anybody. You start doing weird things, such as whenever nobody's home, you cannot be left home by yourself because you don't have the ability to think for yourself. You don't know whether what's hot, what's cold, what is not need to be touched. But as far as that goes, there's 3 types of symptoms that can really show you what is wrong, and you need to get physical help. And then you have treatments is the last one I want to talk about, which is, there's a couple types of treatments, but as like I said before, there's no real cure for it, but there's ways that has helped people, that has been proven in the past, which is taking antipsychotic medications, which it really helps you slow your mind down and start to realize what you're really seeing, what you're really doing. And then you have therapy, which can really help people, because you have to have a good support system around you to be able to get through schizophrenia, because it, like I said, it's a very, very rare disease, but a lot of people have it, and it's something that can be very fatal. It can end up killing you. And then if you have a lot of family support, then having family support around you at all times helps your chances of surviving through this, because good support from someone can help you get through difficult times with schizophrenia. There are a bunch of supporting groups in national and international places just for schizophrenic patients, because if you take care of someone with it, you have got to be very educated on the disease to be able to help them stay on their goals of getting better, and finally they want to be a normal person again, but they never will be, because schizophrenia never goes away. It'll always be in the back of your mind. It can always pop up at any time. So today I informed you about the types of schizophrenia there are and how they can or cannot be treated, and then I'll show you an up-personal thing of this. You can see it. My thing says schizophrenia in the world's population. As you can see, China again has 6 million, India has 4.3 million, USA has 2 million, Australia has 285,000, Canada has 280,000, and Britain has 250,000. I don't know about y'all, but to me, that is a very, very high number for people with this, and the United States really needs to find some way to find a cure to this.